In the episode on capturing and grading log footage using the Oppo Find X9 Pro phone, I described a mechanism for importing the footage into DaVinci Resolve and transforming it into the DaVinci Intermediate DaVinci Wide Gamut color space ready for editing and grading. What I didn't realize at the time was that the mechanism I was using, which involves Oppo's DCTL file and another color space transform, won't work in the free version of DaVinci Resolve. That's because DCTL files are only supported in the paid version. I've been working on a method that will work with the free version of DaVinci Resolve, and that's the subject of this episode. Let's dive into DaVinci Resolve and take a look at what's involved. I've set up a project to illustrate both the old and the new mechanisms for converting Oppo Log footage into DaVinci Intermediate DaVinci Wide Gamut, ready for grading. In this first clip, I have some raw footage from the Find X9 Pro phone. This is the group pre-clip area, showing the original mechanism which uses the DCTL to convert from Oppo Log into ACES AP0, and then the color space transform to convert from ACES into DaVinci Intermediate DaVinci Wide Gamut. The second clip uses a lookup table. So there's just one node and it does the same job of converting from Oppo Log to DaVinci Wide Gamut, but with a lookup table rather than the DCTL and the color space transform. I created this lookup table from the DCTL and the color space transform and saved it out as a separate file. Let's see what these two different mechanisms do by running the two clips one after the other. I'm going to select the first clip, I'm going to go to full screen, and I'm going to start play. So here's the DCTL and the CST. And here's the lookup table. Now, as far as I can see, those look absolutely identical. Here's another example of a slightly different clip. Let's do the same thing. Here's the DCTL and CST. And here's the same clip using the lookup table instead. And I'll just show you that again in the color page. So this is the first of those clips using the DCTL and the color space transform, and this is using the LUT. And there's no difference, there's no extra grade applied to either of those two clips. I created the lookup table from the DCTL and that color space transform in DaVinci Resolve, but obviously you need the studio version to be able to do that. And so I've saved out the lookup table and made it available publicly. You can get it from a Google Drive. I'll leave the link in the description below. It's completely free to use. You don't need to subscribe to anything. You don't need to sign up for anything. Take it and use it as is. As far as I can see, it's working just fine. If you find any problems with it, just drop me something in the comments and I'll take a look. So how do you use it? Well, it's very simple. Instead of putting two nodes into your group pre-clip and loading up the DCTL and the color space transform, you just need to create one new node and drop the lookup table onto it. Now, DaVinci Resolve looks for lookup tables in a particular location. So open up your project settings and choose color management and just scroll down until you see the button Open LUT folder. That will open your lookup table folder within the Explorer or Finder on your machine. Now, I like to keep mine separate, so in this folder I've created a folder for Oppo related lookup tables, and actually that's where the DCTL is. And if you followed along with the previous video, you may well already have this folder. So download the lookup table from the link that I've provided and just drop it into this folder, or anywhere in this lookup table hierarchy will be just fine. And then when you want to use it, if you just cancel out of that, Within the colour page, select the LUTs tab, navigate down to the folder where you stored it, and it will appear Olog to DW. I've called it V1 because it's related to this ACES V1. Take that and drop it onto the node. So literally grab it and drop it, and that lookup table will now be in this node, and it will apply that transform for you. That's all you need to do. The rest of colour grading and editing is exactly the same as I described in the original video. I'll leave a link to that in the description, and also there'll be a card on screen a couple of times with a direct link to it. If you're using the free version of DaVinci Resolve, you need to use the lookup table to transform your Oppo Log footage into DaVinci Wide Gamut for grading. If you're using the studio version, you can use either the lookup table or the DCTL combined with the color space transform. Personally, I'm going to continue testing the lookup table to see how well it performs and to see if I can see any differences between it and the DCTL and the color space transform. If you do use the lookup table, let me know how you get on in the comments. And if you find any problems, also let me know. If you found this video useful, consider subscribing and give it a thumbs up. See you next time.